or, well, we're not going to need a lot until the end game anyway, so I'm probably just going to restock on some of them. It's ridiculous!
Yeah, because, like, look, that did half the enemy's health before.
They really intend for you to do those. Oh, damn it. Oh, come on. They really intend for you to do those near the end of the game, and I almost waited. But it was a good example of why I don't recommend doing those, because that is actually really, really fucking hard. And when you're at the end of the game and you have all your powers and like all your weapons and some important combat abilities, so I'm probably going to buy a few, like 2 or 3 of every item, and then we'll get a small move on before we stop this recording. Because I made a good chunk of money in there, so, like... Because the regular game, everything is, like, simple, but then when you're in the fucking trial gate,
And later on, when you're fighting late game enemies in those, they are just massive, massive pain in the ass.
But if you have the best weapons in the game, especially my personal favorite that you get around the end, you can go back and clean those, so we're probably not going to touch those again for a while, so I'm probably about to just do a small restock of a couple of resources. Because the other thing we were missing is a power that's one of my favorites that helps.
I honestly think they wanted you to wait until you got that power, especially because I seem to remember you also... I don't remember what type of weapon it was, but the thing that's like the next major dungeon, you also get a new weapon after that, so those two things together.
So let me replenish what things I lost. So... I mean, that ate up a good chunk of money. We lost a good bit doing that, but...
Yeah, like, items and stuff aren't really needed for the most part outside of those.
I mean, I'm trying to maintain... Oh, wait! I wanted to show one other thing. I forgot to, but now that we're saved up again, and this is a very important point. Okay. We will get a move on, but this is something important that is a really good thing to keep in mind. So, that Demon Gate trial thing we did, and a lot of people don't know what I'm about to show off. If you come back, the gate should be back. And you can infinitely do these. Yeah.
You can do these for, like, money and demon thing grinding.
Yeah. And it restarts. So now it's back to that easy little one. Which I can just kind of sweep through and get some money back. Because the first few of these I don't think are that hard, honestly. It's just those ones near the end. If I had the strongest weapon in the game, I could come back here and these would actually be really easy. And I wouldn't have had that much of a problem, especially because I would have had other powers. If you want fangs, I mean, you can get fangs out of here really easy. See, because that's 7,000. Well, 700. Yeah, 7,000. And, like, as I said, it repeats. So you can come back. And it's now the slightly harder one with the yellow ant. Damn it. No, I'm probably about to leave.
Like, when you get good enough or have enough overpowered shit to do these somewhat easily, these become really good money grinding tricks.
No, I'm about to stop. We'll keep recording because I could do the next little main area pretty easily. And we're not going to need, like, because as you can see, I made back a good bit of what I spent, and we're not going to need items until, I might do one more. Yeah,
Hey, this is the first fish round.
these get far.
Well, like I said, because as the game goes on, these have you fight basically the enemies of, like, the last few areas. So, like, the next one would start with the enemies from the Hiroshima coast, and then go to wherever that area is. Honestly, I don't even remember where the next one of these is located. I just remember where the last one is located.
There we go. Doing it at this point is possible, but it was really, really hard, and that, yeah, and I got a really good rank there.
And then you hear that guy in the comments, what are you talking about? It's not that hard. I made it blindfolded. It was the basic reflector. Controlling the game was my channel.
So, that's a good example. And we got a good chunk of money back. Going back in there. I do recommend waiting, though what I might quickly do is the first round again, because that's somewhat decent money. Because I spent like 10, 15,000 and we're...
Because these are set every time.
Yeah. See? That one power would make this so better. So, we're probably not going to touch these until the end of the game. And that way I can build up more... natural money. I mean, I don't mind you...
Like I said, for the most part, in most other circumstances, we rarely ever
need items.
or even use them.
Yeah, because this game's easy. These are the only times you're ever going to see me use flipping items. Yeah. That was... because I've already made a good chunk of what I spent back. And like, as Curzon said, like, you could always... boom, shakalaka! Because
Yeah, see, these things have so much health that actually doesn't one-shot them because they have that much health in this.
Damn it. Boop. Boom, shakalaka.
Does that hurt the enemies that are around when you know,
I'm
snipe?
not 100% sure.
I seem to remember that, but that's one of those I could be wrong. Very, very wrong.
We'll get a couple of the holy bones after this round. I can stop. Yeah, because that's, again, decent. Essentially, 2 or 3 rounds of that is...
And well, as I said, if you actually do have the reflector as a sub-weapon, the parrying in that can be a lot easier because those crow enemies, they'll throw a skull out and then attack. You can parry them when they attack, and several other enemies, like, I think you can basically parry any attack that, you know, the enemy, like, physically does.
Get some bolt. Damn it, overkill. Yeah, overkill.
But, now...
Bitch! That is a really good counter maneuver. You can parry other enemies.
Like I said, I'm pretty sure basically anything that is a physical attack, you can parry. I remember being able to parry the crow Tengu.
Okay, so I'm fully...
Well, and the other Tengu enemy.
So, I spent... And here's that one. As you can see, groups are set, too. So this is, like, always these guys.
I wonder, can you parry them?
I don't remember, I think, but...
Need to try that later.
Anyway, okay, we're about to get a move on, just get my money back. I got back! And this is the funny dumb part. I got back a lot of what was being spent. So, I mean, towards the end game, when we actually go back for those, because I also need a bunch of money going into the next area, so that one thing early was really good, and I could have saved money by having, like, not replenishing my stock on stuff. Meaning off recording.
Soon, after you clear up the...
Off recording, I might do some money grinding. Like, do a bunch of fishing. I do want to do the, like, ship area before we stop, which is what I was working to, but I should also buy a couple of healing items. I don't think they're that expensive.
If you buy the smaller medium, not really.
I could actually... We made about that walking over here. We made about that walking over here. I could probably replenish that.
Ship's just right there. So
what?
I said the ship's
You,
right.
I have to do that other thing.
What other thing?
The ship only appears in the full moon. You have to do that one thing. So let's.
Oh yeah, the dumb thing.
I spent about 15,000. Let's see if I can replenish that in a couple of fights. Because the...
That was 2,000, but again, that's just those enemies on their own. If you go back and fight that one, like, that's because those are weaker enemies in relation to this area. Like, a fight composing of a few, of, like, say, this crow.
That's gonna be
that
like,
Tengu.
that's gonna be like 3,000 or 4,000. 3,000 even. I will, yeah, I'll wipe out the enemy.
Also, remember to cut past this.
I can. Oh, damn it, overkill. On. We'll get a move on. I just wanted to try to get my money back because I spent a lot and I'm almost back up to what we had anyway. And we'll get more money in the next area, but I am going to wipe out these. Oh, Jesus Christ. I should probably figure out what the... Damn it.
If we are cutting past all of this, I'm pretty sure it is Veil of Mist.
I think you're right, but I don't... Unfortunately, I took some damage.
I remember it being Veil of Mist.
Oh. Huh. I took damage and I still... Jesus Christ, okay. So, we're going to loop back and get on with the plot in a minute. I'm just gonna... I mean, the funny, dumb part about this... Running around on this beach, I'm all...
You basically have guided it because, like, the wheel enemies normally give you around 5,000.
Oh, hold on! I'm cutting back in! It was night, so... And I have some extra stuff I can sell, and I was holding on to those fish. Also, I didn't show it, and I wanted to. You can slash the clams, and they'll open. They contain items. So, we're about to get a move on with the plot here. I just wanted to get some of the money back, and I'm almost back to the amount of money I spent after going through the one challenge. So on the way back, I'm going to... Ooh, big group. Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
Because it's the Thunder Ear.
Yep.
In Polygon, electric didn't resist fire, right?
No, it didn't. Fire doesn't resist electric either. I find it funny that my need... So, like, I'm staying in at this point. Also, I'm gonna sell off a couple of the quick treasures we picked up. There we go. I'm about to hit back to the amount of money I spent after the hole, but I'm not cutting around anymore. I probably just cut past. So, here's an extra. We'll do the next little mini dungeon area, and we'll call it after that. Not what I needed. Oh, bat's on. Yes. You need to do this. You need double jump. So, in like 5 minutes of grinding, I almost got back the amount of money I spent. Which is amazing. And that opens the area. So now we can get in the...
And, like, this is one of those... Before I, talk about the whole wind thing, this is a time using the wind to move faster is really important. You could jump off at this point, you do realize that.
Yeah, but I realized I had made a mistake with something. There's a, like, stray bead and some treasure on that ship.
And we can come back for it.
Into the...
You can come back because that's why small things, like, this is one of the areas where people acted like you couldn't
come back, but you can.
Yes.
Ah, funny. Exorcism slip.
Okay,
Nice.
just get in the damn ship before night runs out.
Okay. We'll do this area. Though, after we do this, I'm probably going to, like, reset the area so that I can get back on that ship for that stray bead and stuff. And then we can officially call it, and that'll be a really good, solid recording since I'm trying to justify the, like, 10 minutes I took taking a snack break. And then she comes in. Busty babe!
Yeah. This is the one where it's like convenient that, she found a way in here, but...
I just opened it massive.
That was my point. The one thing should still be open.
They are, basically. If you hear me clicking around, I was checking a notification on something. Hold on. Do one thing that somebody forgot to do earlier. I can just cut past this. I was double checking notes on something.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I cut back in. This is the part of the game where a lot of stray beads are just hard to freaking get a hold of because so much of the city and this ship are blocked off, but you can get the ones in the ship. Because I'm waiting on a lot of the ones in the city and the coast area, because I can't easily get those with so much locked off. It's often better to just wait.
Did she pull those
Out of her boobs, yes.
Well, let's be honest, that is the greatest anime pocket dimension. And if you think that's a pure bullshit, wasn't there a story of a woman broke out of prison because her tits were so huge she was able to store, like, a nail file between them?
I think. So from her, you can do that, and she'll throw what you're. You can also hit those ghosts
Well, that's what they want you to do.
that haunt the ship.
Though, something interesting was the ghost. I want you to get hit by one of them to show something.
On.
Oh yeah, and they give you demon fangs. Oh no, it's not Beal. I think it's later ghost. Demon fang.
Here we go. Little mini dungeon. It's time for the question of the day and my overall thoughts on the topic. So anyway, do any of you actually use items in this game outside of important fights like boss fights or the trial gate challenges? In my opinion, this game is pretty easy, and I rarely use items unless I'm in a boss fight or trying to complete the trial gate challenges. So overall, I wanted to know if people actually make use of the items in random fights. But anyway, you can leave your thoughts, opinions, and answers in the comments. Or you can leave them on social media. All of my social media links, as well as my Discord link, are in the video description. Now, as always, I need to be a shill for a minute. If you subscribe to the channel, and if you follow me on social media, that really helps our communities grow. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope I will see you all next time. So, as always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, everybody. I hope you come back someday. See you later.